How do you find answers when you're facing a serious problem? If you're looking online, you may be in serious trouble, even if the video that you're watching promises to solve that problem for you. You see, every minute, over 500 hours of content is being uploaded on YouTube. The creators who are uploading this content are thinking about building audiences around subjects that many people are talking about. How then can you be sure that they are creating to solve the problem that you're facing at this time? Today's video is about helping you figure out how to find solutions in this world of confusion, in this myriad of content, in this wave where there is so much information. My name is Dennis Mboro. I'm the founder of DSM Advisory and Consulting, where we help entrepreneurs with unique ideas, articulate them, package them, and present them to the market so that they can attract customers. I also create personal development content to help people show up in the best version of themselves with their gifts and abilities so that they can have a maximum impact and reap maximally from the natural abilities that they were created with. If you find yourself searching frantically online for solutions and these solutions not working for you, it is not your fault. It is absolutely not your fault. It is not your fault that it takes so long for you to find answers, or even never find answers that work for you. It isn't your fault. You see, before the internet, it was very hard to find solutions. But with the coming of the internet, it became so easy to find solutions, but there also came so many creators who are creating so much content. So it becomes overwhelming for you when you're trying to find a solution to a problem. Now, us human beings are drawn to ideas or are drawn to places where there are many people. That is natural to us. When you see people or when you see that there is a crowd or something somewhere, we tend to believe that there is a reason why they are there and that we are supposed to pay attention. And therefore, when there is a lot of content being created, we are likely to pay attention to content that has a lot of attention. But even though this content has a lot of attention, it does not necessarily mean it is going to work for us when we apply the solutions that are being presented in that content. Because the circumstances that we are in are unique circumstances. The personalities that we have are unique personalities. The way we want to live is unique to the way that we want to live. And even if there is a myriad or there are so many people who are listening to a specific idea, it does not necessarily mean that that idea is going to work 100% in the circumstances or in the way that we prefer to live or that we prefer to operate. That idea of being drawn to many people or being drawn to places where there is a crowd is something that a very wise person referred to as the bandwagon effect. That is to say that we are likely to believe that where there are masses, then they are right and we are wrong. Now, with that being said, in the circumstances of so much content being created and there being so many popular ideas that may not work for us, then how do we find solutions that are going to work specifically in our circumstances? The first thing to know is that you cannot fight this bandwagon thing. Okay, it's difficult to fight the bandwagon effect. The reason why it's difficult to fight the bandwagon effect is because willpower is limited. Yes, I know there are people who believe that they can live by themselves. They have these contrarian ideas. They don't need any kind of affirmation. They don't need anyone to tell them that what they're doing is good. They don't need any kind of encouragement. They don't need any friends. Yeah, there are people who say that, but living like that requires you to have a lot of self-will. But at some point, the self-will runs out, and you find yourself in a situation where you need someone to encourage you, someone to pull you up, someone to just tell you, keep going, get up. Someone who you can learn from and look up to for motivation, for encouragement, and for inspiration. And if you're going at it alone, in those moments that you're wounded, or even if it's in war that you're shot down, how are you going to pick yourself up? What many people don't realize is that these bandwagons were created, the ones that are there and that have a lot of people around them. And it is possible for you to create a bandwagon of your own. This bandwagon of your own is supposed to contain, yes, the specific problem that you're facing, your values, how you want to live your life, the vibe and how you like to operate, and pretty much everything that resonates or that reflects who you are as an individual and how you want to show up in the world. You can create that bandwagon for yourself. And once you have created this bandwagon for yourself, you can go a step further and see whether or where you can find people that reflect your idea of what an ideal bandwagon is supposed to look like. And these people can be found online in many places. Just like the internet brought access to information, it brought us access to people. And you can find a community of people that reflect the values, the ideas, the virtues, and everything that reflects who you are and are facing the same problem that you're facing. The beauty of being in such a bandwagon is the presence of 3 categories of people who are crucial. The first person is the person who is ahead of you and has solved the problem effectively. So that's a person that you can learn from. The second person in this bandwagon is someone who is behind you and has not been able to solve the problem to where it is that you're at. So this is a person that you can teach. And there are people who you are at the same level that you are going through it at the point that you're at together, and these are people that you learn together with. This helps you realize that whatever you're facing, you are not alone, that you're not alone, and that there are others who are going through what it is that you're going through. The second thing after that, after you have been able to create your bandwagon and identify where people in this bandwagon are, online or even physically, is finding creators who create for people who are in that bandwagon. And more often than not, these creators are people who are in the bandwagon themselves or have been in this bandwagon specifically themselves with that specific problem. So this gives you insight into how to solve the problem in a way that addresses each and everything that is important to you. Once you have started implementing these solutions of these creators, of course you're going to notice that in as much as there's that 500 plus hours every minute on YouTube, there are very few who are creating for people who are in your bandwagon. And more often than not, the ideas they present are going to work or are going to help you find an actual solution for somebody who is in your specific circumstances. And then once you have solved the problem and you're facing a new problem, you follow this process again. You follow this process again to ensure that you are constantly finding information that resonates with who you are, how you want to live, how you want to show up, and ultimately achieve the things that you would like to achieve in your life. I would like to know, what is your thoughts? Okay, what are your thoughts? What is your reaction to this bandwagon idea? Not fighting the bandwagon idea, but creating your own bandwagon, finding creators, solving the problem, and ultimately repeating when you find yourself in a new problem. I'd like to know what your thoughts are about that, and whether it is something that has worked for you, whether it's something that you've ever considered, or even if it's something that you've thought about. Mention it in the comments, because anytime that someone sees the title of this video, they want to see what people said about it. So yeah, just comment what your thoughts are. Definitely I'm going to reply with what I think, in case I've not been able to articulate it fully in a way that satisfies the need that you had when you're watching this video. Also, if you are attracted to this kind of content or information, do subscribe and share with someone who is facing this problem. I advise that you share with people who are facing this specific problem of overwhelm of too much content, so that they can get maximum benefit from this specific video. And until next time, remember these things. Remember that it is not your fault that you find you spend so much time looking for things that don't work for you. That it is possible for you to get clarity in this world of confusion by thinking deeply about your problem, and not just about the problem, but even who you are as a person. Creating your ideal bandwagon in your mind, finding it out there in the world, and even the creators who create for that, implementing those solutions, and following that process each and every time you find yourself in an issue. Until next time, Dennis Mboro here. Ciao.